Hi, I'm Danielle Hartman, and welcome to another episode of Poured in PA, the series about Pennsylvania's craft beer industry. Located in the first state to brew a lager, Old Thunder Brewing in Pittsburgh focuses on creating everything from traditional lagers, ales, and strong beers to mixed fermentation recipes. Recently, Old Thunder invited brewers from Pittsburgh and across the state to join in on a celebration of Pennsylvania lagers.
A lager, so I guess the easiest way is it's just like, it doesn't have to be. Let me start over. Technically a lager, it's a different yeast than ale yeast. It's yeast that works a lot slower at cooler temperatures. There's less ester production, so it's just a cleaner, crisper beer, which you hear that all the time, like crispy, like lager, that kind of thing, and it's true.
Lager is a very technical beer. There's various styles that fall under the lager umbrella, whether it's Pilsner, whether it's Schwarzbiers, whether it's Helles.
It takes a much longer time to mature and condition. That's why we love it, because it's difficult to make.
It's a very special beer to all of us here at Old Thunder, and we're happy to bring together this family of lagers to celebrate it. So the event is a celebration of Pennsylvania lagers, so we were really excited to do this. This is one of the things that we had on deck for quite a while, and there was a great opportunity to bring together statewide lagers. It's a very special beer to us, and we were happy to do such.
We brew a lot of it, we drink a lot of it. We wanted to do a kind of a different event here and show off what's available in the city and in other parts of the state. So we brought all these different breweries here, things that haven't been here before.
It kind of turned into a lager event kind of selfishly because we wanted to have a bunch of lager here, but also that we thought it was funny that like most people in the winter would have like a barley wine festival, a stout festival, and like a lager one's just completely flipped. We thought like, why don't we expand it to the whole Pennsylvania? So last week we went out and picked up kegs from the east side of the state and then picked up the Pittsburgh stuff, and I think it's a really good like offering of all the Pennsylvania spots.
One of the first lagers in America was brewed in Philly. One of the brewers from Germany brought it to Philadelphia, and that's kind of where things started. Think about all the old school breweries that came around in the 1800s. Yuengling, Straub, Iron City, Penn, then the new wave of people, Trogs, Victory. Just a lot of good lager brewers in Pennsylvania here, and there always has been.
You know, if you're inundated with beer and you're a real beer nerd, you're going to love the history of beer and you're going to love lagers and how they kind of allowed this modern beer era to do the things that we're now doing. But it's cool to kind of take a step back and work on making these traditional styles more available from a craft perspective to people, and the variety that you can have in a single style just based on process and ingredient and everything.
Golden Age is a new brewery in Homestead where the focus is to brew a lot of clean and crisp lagers. That's what we love to drink the most, and that's what I love to brew the most as a brewer and what I'm most passionate about. Tonight we're pouring the Golden Age Schwarzbier. People tend to drink with their eyes, so when you see a dark beer, typically people associate that with like, oh, it's heavy, I'm not going to enjoy that. But the cool thing about Schwarzbier is that it's incredibly dark in appearance, but it drinks almost like a Pilsner. And I've been seeing a lot of them being brewed around town, which is awesome. Like, it seems like everyone is kind of craving that style right now.
I am the head brewer at Necromancer Brewing. We're a brewery in Ross Township, North Hills. We specialize in resurrecting old beer styles, so we kind of look them up, research them, and bring them back. And we also do all the trendy stuff. We do hazy IPAs and fruited sour stouts, kind of the run of the gamut, and lagers. The lager we brought is a Franconian red lager. In Germany, they call it a rot beer. It's one of our resurrections. We're pretty pumped about it. It's our first resurrection lager. There's one place in Nuremberg that makes it. It's malty, it's a little bit caramelly, real crisp, and it's a nice ruby red color, especially when the light hits it. I'm pretty pumped about it.
This is a celebration of Pennsylvania Lager. It was organized by Rob and the great guys at Old Thunder, so really excited to be a part of it. Lager is always something that we enjoy doing and really hope that everybody else enjoys what we do with it. So right now we have our Doppelbock. So we have a whole series of beers that are basically just salt of the earth, kind of real lagers, German-style lagers that we all just enjoy making, and keep it pretty simple but traditional. With something sessionable and something you want to be able to drink over and over again and come back to and be comfortable ordering, a lager is always something that's I really think is just gonna solidify itself among the craft market more and more this year.
Yeah, I think they are becoming a lot more popular. Obviously we're having a fest about lagers, but I think people are kind of looking for something a little bit different, trying to try something new. I mean, the hazy IPAs have been king for a while, and I think people are really glad to have that. But being able to have something that's a little bit crisper, a little cleaner, something that's more focused on what the beer is going to be and what the brewer wanted it to taste like. So I think they're gaining some popularity, which is great for me because I love making them. I also love drinking them.
Yeah, I mean, lager's coming up. I mean, IPA is still king. I mean, you can't be a craft brewery in America without making IPA. But our Pilsner's definitely up. We're definitely exploring the opportunity to make more lagers, Pilsners, Amber Lager, Schwarzbier. I mean, my first gold medal for GABF way back in 2012 was for Baltic Porter. So, I mean, I'm a huge supporter of lager.
I don't think lagers have ever went anywhere, but I think it's more like every brewer that I know likes to drink lager. Like when they're at a beer festival, we'll all be drinking Pilsners. And now more brewers are making them, so more people are drinking them and getting excited about it. So it is really cool to see a renowned interest in all these styles of beer that have kind of been overshadowed in recent years.
People are starting to rediscover lager because you get into craft beer and you're experiencing these big flavors, big, bold, expressive flavors. And sometimes you just want something you can drink, 4 or 5% beer. And it's like, yeah, I'll try that. And then it just becomes a thing. And you start drinking it more and more. I think it's just a natural progression. You start with the bigger flavors that get you in the door, and then you want to just see what else there is to offer. And obviously beer has a lot to offer.
Other breweries that we've talked to said they've seen an uptick in lager sales. And I think that a lot of people are just getting that, like other people talk about this a lot, but like palate fatigue, where everything was so extreme for so long and so hoppy and so boozy, and like just to see what they could do and push the limits and everything, that people are getting sick of it and they like want to go out like a European type of thing where people are going out and they're drinking like four lagers and like having conversation, not just like getting drunk and blacking out. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a different, it's more social. It doesn't fill you up as much as good with food. Like there's just, the list goes on and on.
We try to tell guests that they're very simple beers that do pair well with food. So because we book food trucks, a lot of our guests will get a bite to eat and then grab a lager because it's crisp and clean. We focus on 3 styles. We focus on IPA, lager, and Saison, tonight being a more lager night. Our friends at Old Thunder love doing these like tap takeover festivals that celebrate styles of beer. We were honored to get the call from Zach to be part of it. And tonight we poured our Schwarzbier, a black German lager. But this is a really nice way to celebrate some local beer, kind of isolating it to one style. And we're here in February, in the winter. And it's pretty cool to be drinking some great local lager tonight.
It does mess up scheduling. Lagers take a long time, so usually there's a 2-week ferment. And then I usually like to let mine lager for about 8 weeks before I release it. So that ties up tanks. I can't put anything else in that tank, can't make anything else faster, and we don't like pushing them because the longer they sit, the better they taste.
In general, it just takes a lot more time. The brewing process itself is pretty similar. The main difference is actually when you lager it, which means to store the beer for weeks or months, and that allows the beer to kind of mature, produce a product that is incredibly clean and clear and nuanced and just eminently drinkable.
From the beginning, we decided we wanted to do more lager production. That was always in the cards. We didn't really plan it out, and once we brought the tanks and everything, we realized that we were tying up a tank for a little bit longer than we'd want to. We always have one in a fermenter. We always have one lagering in the tank right here. That helps us out a little bit, and I think we're gonna probably add like a 30 barrel next to just do 340 lager in.
Obviously, our 340 lager is near and dear to all of our hearts here at Old Thunder. It is one that we spend a plethora of time trying to fine tune, really critiquing, really making sure it is the best of the best. It's one of our babies, so we want to make sure it stands out amongst all the lagers out there, amongst the IPAs as well, and separate it and show how special it means to us.
It is either our number 1 or number 2 selling beer in the tap room. We put it on tap, it's gone in a few weeks. We do other styles of lager as well, they go pretty fast. Our clientele love it, we like making it, and we're going to continue to do it and much more of it.
You kind of drink towards the season, which is a great thing about the lagers is they all kind of follow each individual season, and you always have something to look forward to because there's always going to be something coming up. You know, you get a winter lager, then you got a Bock, and then it starts lightening up. You start getting your Maibocks, you start getting your Helles, you start getting some Mexican lagers in the summer.
It's cool seeing people excited about it. Like maybe a couple years ago, this event would have been like a hazy IPA tap takeover, and now it's a lager fest with an awesome menu, you know, just full of these insane lagers being brewed across the state. It's just something that I've dreamed about for a while, and now it's like happening. Like being at all lager event is something really cool. So
I wish we could do one of these a month, honestly. I might not be able to make it to all of them because I have 3 kids, but I think they're amazing. I think the more of these things that we do, the more that we keep people engaged in beer and expose people to new and different tastes and some classic styles, you know, it's better for everybody. So the more the merrier. Absolutely. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Maybe this will be the year of the lager. That's it for now. Until next time. Cheers.